What up, y'all? It's Activate here from the Virtual Dance Network and Virtual Dance Nationals, and today I have a question for y'all that needs an answer. What will high school dance team and drill team competitions look like after coronavirus? Hey again, everyone. As always, this episode is sponsored by my website, virtualdance.org. And for all you newbies out there, I'm a huge advocate and supporter of the dance industry, and especially all the high school dance programs and competitive dance studios across the USA and around the world, as well as the dance industry at large. I've been teaching dance for 18 years, and before we get right into today's topic, I just want to quickly thank y'all for stopping by and to remind you to give this video a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe and bell notification buttons to help me beat the YouTube algorithm so this channel can reach everyone else on the internet who has a passion for the dance art form just like you and me. But back to the big question, what on earth are dance competitions going to look like in the post-COVID era? Will they resemble anything prior to 2020 BC, also known as before coronavirus? Or will health and safety measures dictate new trends in dance competition formats? Well, maybe you're not a fan of dance competitions to begin with, and that's a whole other topic for an entirely different episode that I promise to address soon. But for the many school-based dance programs across America that do participate in dance competitions, this is a huge question that I'm sure has a ton of different answers, potential different answers, based on where you live. Not only does it depend on what state you live in, but it also depends on what county your school is located in within your home state, as well as what school district protocols have been set ever since the beginning of the pandemic in your area. I will be exploring what dance studio competitions might look like in a future episode, as those events are not run quite the same way as high school competitions. And as a high school dance teacher myself, I've been getting bombarded lately with information from a variety of dance team competition companies, all of whom have different plans of attack in regards to what their 2021 competition seasons will look like. And let me tell you, some of them have some wonderful ideas. Some of them are sticking their heads in the sand with some questionable ideas, and others have gone completely radio silent and don't seem to have a clue as to what they're going to do to stay alive. But the purpose of today's episode is basically just to ask some hypothetical questions that I'm hoping you can shed some light on, because it just feels like there's a lot of confusion out there. And while many dance competition organizations are apparently doing their best to host some type of high-quality event this upcoming competition season, I know that high school dance competitions will look quite different as we move forward. For example, some companies are trying to host competitions as usual, but with mandatory face masks for audience members, judges, and even in many cases, the dancers themselves. But how long will that last? And who will be exempt and who will not be exempt from wearing a face mask at dance competitions? Is it going to be like going to a restaurant where you sit down and then you get to take your mask off, so when you're competing you can take it off, but then you have to put it back on as soon as you're done? And if a vaccine is developed during this time, will dancers need to be vaccinated before returning to school and or team rehearsals, let alone competitions themselves? Will there be temperature checks upon arriving at registration at a competition for all participants and spectators, or perhaps rotating performance time blocks so that school teams are not performing during the same time as other teams? What about competitions that are state affiliated or league affiliated? What if the host schools for those events will not allow dance competitions to take place due to health restrictions imposed on them by the local school district? And what about school teams that want to participate, but their school districts have disallowed any sort of field trips or extracurricular activity meetings and rehearsals? What will happen to them? Will they be excluded? Or will there be some sort of effort to help give them an opportunity to participate in some capacity? Like, for example, will there be other virtual dance competition options available to participate in aside from our own annual virtual dance nationals that I'm producing again next spring? And if so, what will those regional events look like? Or more specifically, leave a comment below and let me know what you think those events should look like in order for you to feel safe or for your team to feel safe and to make sure that you guys are protected. And if competitions are indeed allowed to happen, will award ceremonies be virtual as well? Meaning your team arrives to the event, perform all their routines back to back, and then go home to watch awards on a YouTube live stream or Instagram or something like that? And if so, how will trophies and awards be picked up or shipped? Ugh. I literally just asked you guys one big question at the beginning of this episode. Do you see how big of a snowball was created as we got rolling down the hill with all these other thoughts and ideas? I literally just went down a rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland, and I promise to explore each and every one of those questions in upcoming episodes. But I really want to know what you think about all this stuff. What's being done in your city or at your school or in your neighborhood or at your dance studio? Share your stories in the comments and I just might interview you in a future episode, or at the very least, use your feedback to help other dancers, coaches, choreographers, and teachers figure out how to navigate this mess so that school-based dance community can make the best of this current school year. All your feedback is truly appreciated, and I know I just threw a ton of stuff at you, but these questions must be considered as we move forward. Don't you agree? Well, dance people, that's all I have for you today. Remember, I started this channel to help bring the dance arts community together during COVID. And if you found any value in this episode whatsoever, I'd really appreciate if you help me beat the YouTube algorithm by giving me a thumbs up or hitting the subscribe and bell notification buttons to get future updates. And for even more dance community resources, please visit my website, virtualdance.org, to check out our newly launched virtual dance class directory, aka Virtual Dance Network, where you can post your own class and search for other online dance classes that you can take from the world's most creative choreographers and masterclass teachers, and to also get more information on our upcoming virtual dance nationals, as well as other major dance events that I fully endorse. As always, remember, we are all in this together. Please mask up. See y'all next time.